Last night's tragic and shocking car crash and stabbing incident in Tumon that left 2 women dead and 12 others injured has impacted the entire island community and tourism industry in multiple ways. The Guam Visitors Bureau spent much of the day in meetings over the incident. General Manager Carl Pangilinan expresses his condolences to all the victims and their families. He stresses this was an isolated incident and commends the authorities for responding on time. Pangilinan says the impact the incident has on tourism is not about numbers.
Well, we're not looking at this in terms of numbers. We're not looking at this in terms of categories. I mean, these are people and these are families that we're dealing with.
He mentions they've been reaching out to source markets, especially Japan. He also notes there is no assessment to the impact of the incident on Guam's tourism industry yet. Pangilinan emphasizes Guam is still safe, and GVB will work closely with Guam police for increased coverage of Tumon.
This isn't Guam. This isn't our culture. This isn't on our island. And so, with that, we want to really make the stress that Guam is still a safe destination. We're working with our partners, at GPD to ensure that, the already adequate coverage will get increased coverage down in Tumon.
Pangilinan adds GVB staff have been reaching out to tour agent partners and the families of the victims. They also provided translators to help with the situation.
We activated our translators. That was a big key in terms of communicating with both medical personnel as well as the investigators. As soon as things somewhat settled down up at the hospital scene, we had our translators on site.
Despite rain and overcast skies over the heart of Guam's tourism district, packs of tourists today passed through the area where the incident occurred. They appear to still be in good spirits, smiling and taking pictures as they walked. The damage caused by the car crash in front of the ABC store below the Hard Rock Cafe was covered but still visible. While several businesses and tourists declined comment on the incident, PNC did speak to Jungle Java manager Becky Tenorio about the impact this may have on her business. She says although it was slow today, she remains positive that customers will come.
Those things we don't expect to happen, Something like that is so unexpected and we don't know what to do. I don't know what else to say because, but I'm hoping that we can still see tourists coming down.
DNA Evolution store manager Brianna Santos also tells PNC that business was still good, but they expect it to slow down in the days ahead.
For today, surprisingly, we're still having people stroll into the stores, which is good for business, of course. But we are expecting it to be a little slow in the coming days, with what had happened. I'm sure people are going to be talking about it. But we are hoping that we're still going to get a good customer flow.
She also believes Tumon is still safe, noting that DNA owners had taken the time to talk with staff about keeping them and customers safe.
Our owners took the initiative to talk to our staff and to talk to us, sort of as a way to reassure us, to let us know that they are doing their best to make sure that our safety is the #1 priority. And of course, to keep promoting to the tourists that Guam is a safe place. And with what had happened, we still want to make sure that it's welcoming for them as well.
Meanwhile, Governor Eddie Calvo also visited the families of the deceased and injured at Guam Memorial Hospital this afternoon. He says he wanted to show commitment and support for those affected and assure them counseling and other services are available to them.
There's a lot of people in pain right now, and what we can do is give them comfort for those that are in pain, and for those that need questions answered, we're going to answer those questions. And for anyone who needs any type of assistance, we're going to be there to give them help.
The governor adds Guam will deal with the incident's impact on tourism later. Right now, he says the focus is on this human tragedy and making sure justice is served and that this doesn't happen again.
It's a human tragedy, #1. We've got to focus on that first. And then, of course, all the other ramifications of that as well we have to deal with, and we will deal with them. But I think the main thing here is to be there for those that have been stricken.
Josh Tkanko, PNC News.
Again, for those that are deceased.